If you're curious what happened in my Kenosha video, well, it turns out YouTube didn't like it very much, and they were going around flagging everybody's videos and giving them a hard time about it. And by the time they got around to my small channel and flagging my video and giving me a hard time about it, other better YouTubers than me, like Coleon Neor and Donut Operator, had already put out videos analyzing the entire shooting, and they came to the same conclusion as I did. So when YouTube came with the hammer after me, I just decided it would be easier to remove the video and tell you guys to go check out their videos. I don't really want to be a hot takes person. I'm not one of these reactionary guys. I'm not going to react to something the day after it happens before the information comes out. Even though I did a really good job and I was about 99% correct on my video and my entire assessment of the situation, it's still not really my thing. What I'm going to talk about, though, it does pertain to this shooting and current events, is leftist lies. Leftist liars can be found anywhere, but I don't know if you can find as many jam-packed into one so-called news outlet as you can at the Young Turk.
He was seen in multiple videos carrying a rifle, brandishing the rifle.
Ah, the Young Turks. The group that doesn't know what the word brandishing means, but still wants you to believe that they do. Yeah, he was walking around brandishing, threatening people. They keep saying that. But everyone had phones and was recording, and yet no evidence a week later has surfaced of him threatening or pointing a gun at anyone. Fucking amazeballs.
Ever since a 17-year-old armed militia member gunned down 2 demonstrators in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
You see, protesters are protesters and rioters are rioters, and they are completely separate unless you shoot a rioter, and then they are the same. That guy, he was just demonstrating on Kyle how to bash someone's brains in with a skateboard. See? Demonstrators.
He's a terrorist. He's a domestic terrorist. And for 100%. That reason, he's going to be a hero on the right.
Just an odd observation on my part, but when the right wing has a domestic terrorist like Timothy McVeigh, the right wing usually is like, yeah, okay, give him the chair. But when the left has a domestic terrorist like Kathy Boudin, for example, who I covered in a previous video, they say, hey, why don't you come speak at our prestigious university? Here's a professor position so that you can influence the minds of the next generation. Hooray! I've been thinking about this a lot for the last few days. How do leftist lies work? Does one leftist lie, and then all the other leftists just go along with that lie? Or is there like a ministry of truth somewhere? Is there a lie factory somewhere where the lies are created and released to the public for all the leftists to adopt? Because I keep seeing all the leftists saying the exact same lies over and over again, and this one right here is the biggest fucking one.
Had an illegal weapon and crossed state lines twice with an illegal weapon.
Oh, Anna, you are lying through your horrible fucking nose job. And that's what they do. They just blatantly lie, and then every other leftist swears to it and repeats it, and they're all over every social media right now repeating this same lie over and over again. And this is reported here on the Young Turks on August 31st, when on the 28th, Lynn Wood had this to say. When you start manufacturing facts to support false accusations, you get into trouble under the law of defamation. Kyle did not carry a gun across state lines. The gun belonged to his friend, a Wisconsin resident. The gun never left the state of Wisconsin. The truth always prevails. This look of shame on Anna's face, I hope it's plastered there for eternity after Lynn Wood takes the Young Turks apart piece by piece. Because he's the man who represented Nick Sandmann in his case against CNN, where they are forced to pay hundreds of millions of dollars for being communist fucking liars.
And then he falls down, and then he starts shooting randomly at people, just shooting randomly.
And the biggest problem, really, is that there are loads of people out there who will believe everything that this idiot says over their own eyes. The videos are out there. You can see it with your own eyes. And you'll see one thing, and they'll listen to this guy, and then they'll watch it, and they'll see what they were told to see. Thanks for watching. And remember, don't be a fucking commie.
In the town of old Kenosha marched some troubled rogues one day. held the hammers high above their heads and looking for a fray. No one dared to ask their business, no one dared to make a stand, save for one young man among them with an AR in his hand. An AR in his hand. In this town there were some outlaws bound to the teachings of the red. Many soy boys were among them, and many trannies overfed. They were vicious, prone to violence, looting auto zones and more. And their leader rode a skateboard, rolling swiftly across the floor. Swiftly across the floor. Now the young man started talking and made it plain to folks around. He was there to stop the mob from burning private property down. He didn't look like much the tough guy, except for one important thing. For the Kenosha kid among them, oh, to his AR he did cling. To his AR he did cling. Now the night was passing quickly, and the mob was wielding flames. And the kid called out to halt them when they took him for their game. Oh, he was running down the pavement when a loud caused him to trip, and he tempted the soy boy leader with the skateboard on his hip. With the skateboard on his hip. It was over in a moment, and all the folks had gathered around, for the skaters sought the rifle as the kid lay on the ground. And he might have went on living, oh how the commies did shout, said the Kenosha kid before him. Fuck around, find out. Won't you fuck around and find out? Fuck around, find out, said the Kenosha kid before him. Won't you fuck around, find out? Won't you fuck around, find out?